Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a Mexican recipe for you. We're making Mexican stuffed bell peppers. Now we're going to be using some ground beef, some homemade enchilada sauce is going to be our sauce for this, and I'm going to leave links for you down below in the description where you can make this, and it only takes about 10 minutes to do. And I have a gluten-free version and a regular version, so whichever one suits your needs. Now, this recipe also contains some corn, and I've got some, cheese and lots of spices. It's a very versatile stuffing that at the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can use it in a lot of other little recipes, Mexican style. And you're going to like it. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. All right, let's go over our ingredients. First up, we have our ground beef. I'm using some organic grass-fed beef here. And we're gonna season that up with some spices. Now I'm using some ground cumin, some chili powder, oregano, and salt, and also a little garlic powder. Next up, we need some already cooked rice. Mine is already cooked here. This is white rice that I'm using. Now, if you're gonna make white rice, add a little flavor to it by using, cook it according to the directions on the package, but also instead of using water, use chicken broth. You'll add a nice little dimension of flavor there that'll make your recipe a little bit better. We'll need some diced yellow onion. Here's my enchilada sauce that I've already prepared. Have that ready to go. We'll need some canned corn here. I have a mixture of it's a Colby Jack cheese. And for our bell peppers, I've got a red one and an orange one. Now you can use any color you want. Just remember that starting with green, that's the most bitter flavor. And then it works its way up in terms of sweetness, going to red, orange, and then the sweetest is the yellow bell pepper. Use whichever one you like. And we'll need some olive oil. We're gonna start our recipe off by, first off, preheating our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're gonna work on our bell peppers. Now, what I like to do is cut them up and then roast them a little bit for maybe 15 minutes in the oven before we stuff them so that they are not as crunchy. I like mine a little softer, and plus I also like the extra roasting that they get for more flavor. So that's why I do it. All right, so let me show you. When you go to cut your bell peppers, I like to cut mine in half in sort of a horizontal direction. But before you cut it, you want to kind of find where it's going to be the flattest on both sides after you cut it so that the little, I'll call it a little boat, will lay kind of level. Okay, so I've determined that I kind of like it this way, because if I flip it over, both sides are pretty level, it's going to be pretty stable. So I'm going to cut my bell pepper in half in this direction, like that. See, so both halves seem to lay pretty level, pretty nice. Then you're just going to take out the seeds. And you're going to want to get rid of all these little seeds that are in there as well. And a little bit of the membrane for, like I said, more room for your stuffing. And I like the opening as opposed to, some people cut the top of their bell peppers off right here. They give them a slice, and then they have this, even this one doesn't even stand up straight, but a big bell pepper. And, some people don't want that much. Maybe they just want a half, So I like this version better. So once we get our bell peppers prepared, I'm just going to place them on my cookie sheet here, baking sheet. And I'm going to add just a little bit of oil and just rub it on all of them. Give it just a very nice light little coat so they don't dry out. So these are going in the oven for about 15 minutes, but we'll check them and see how they're doing. So these are going in. I'm putting them on the middle rack, not too low in the oven because I don't want the bottoms to burn. So while the bell peppers are roasting in the oven, you might as well go ahead and start making your stuffing. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan here over, I'm going to start it off at medium heat. And we're going to cook our onions for about 3 to 5 minutes. And you probably want to turn the heat down a little bit after they get going. All right, so after 5 minutes, the onions are nice and translucent, softened up. Time to add the ground beef. So I'll just break that up. Now to this, I'm going to add all those spices that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to Sprinkle them in. That was the cumin, chili powder, oregano, salt, and garlic powder. Remember, you can get all the ingredients for this recipe down below in the description of the video. Click where it says show more and you will see it. Once the ground beef is done, we're ready to start adding the other ingredients. Now, I've already preheated my enchilada sauce, which is right over here, and then I have my rice, which I heated up, so that's nice and soft and ready to go. So we're going to start adding these in. All right, so here's the rice. Now I'm going to start adding some of my enchilada sauce. Now here I'm just going to go by the scoopfuls and put about 3. That's probably about a cup's worth. Start with that, mix it in, and we'll see how it is. I'm going to toss in the corn. Remember to drain it. Okay, so this needs more sauce. All right, I'm going to show you the bell peppers after about 22 minutes. Now, you can see there's a little bit of softening going on here, and the bottoms are getting charred for sure. They're soft, but they still have some good shape to them, but that's enough. I'm going to take these out because, remember, they're going back in the oven once we stuff them. So the bell peppers, some of them have a little bit of extra liquid in them, so I'm just pouring it out. It's time to stuff the bell peppers. Everything's nice and hot. Get that in there, and I like to fill them up pretty good, you know, over the top a little bit so they're mounding. Why not? Now these are ready to go in the oven, and they're going to go back in for about 10 to 15 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until everything's nice and hot. Then we'll take them out and add some cheese to it, and then just put it back in until the cheese melts. All right, everybody, our Mexican stuffed bell peppers are out of the oven. They are just beautiful. They look really scrumptious. And I'll go ahead and place one over here on my dish. And the way I like to garnish these up is I like to put some sour cream into a squeeze bottle like this, and it just gives you a lot of control with where it goes. Hopefully it'll behave itself. And you know, you can just drizzle some over just like that, and then top it off with a little bit of cilantro or parsley. If you don't care for cilantro, that works too. And there you have it, guys. These are delicious, make a great meal, appetizer, however you want to do it. Now, remember I told you about using the stuffing for other recipes. Well, here's what you can do. You can use the filling for tacos, for example. You can use that right as your taco filling. It's perfect. You could even put it in a burrito, or you could even do nachos. Spread some nachos or some tortilla chips over onto a baking sheet like this one here, and you know, drop the filling on top of it, add a little extra cheese, pop it in the oven, top it with sour cream and avocado or guacamole, and it is delicious. So let's give this one a taste, shall we? I really like the sweet bell peppers. I probably would never use a green one just because I like sweet over bitter. It has just the right amount of crunch to it. Not too much. It's nice and soft and just has that roasted flavor. And then of course the stuffing has just a really warm, nice Mexican flavor to it, and the sour cream on top really kind of blends with it. It's delicious, guys. Hope you try it. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. If you have any recipe requests, I'd sure like to hear about it down below in the discussion area. So be sure and leave me a comment, all right? If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to see more videos like this, please click the subscribe button. You'll see one at the end of the video right up here on the video display, and down below in the description area, there's another one. So click that and you'll be subscribed. All right, thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.